York Giants. I'll be back at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Tonight, it's a good Week 9 matchup. Here on a Monday night between the Atlanta Falcons and the New York Giants. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And look at this. Right away, a loose football. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really...
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
Now a play fake here on first down. And oh, look at that, a diving catch. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards there as they move the chains. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
And this is taken in one-handed. What a catch. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. A gain of 6 there on first.
What a catch and one-handed, and I'm starting to lose my awe about the play, and maybe I shouldn't. How much of this is the player? How much of it is the glove?
Well, those gloves, they do have a little grip to them.
They got a little extra tackiness to them now, and I know the guys in the NFL, the competition committee, some other places, they're talking about examining those gloves.
Touchdown, Falcons! Ezekiel Elliott, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. The touchdown giving them the first quarter lead. Remember, they lost a rough game 2 weeks ago. Then they had to sit through the open week, but a good start here.
And just think about everyone around them, everyone around the organization. When you lose headed into that open week, everyone's cringing because you don't have a chance to get on the horse and ride it again for at least 2 weeks. Well, they were able to take that time, use it constructively, and now they're back in form.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Nowhere to go that that time. He maybe got a yard up to the 40. From the gun on third down, it's Trubisky. And Jones has it over the middle. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
He finds Coleman. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first thanks to a flashy little spin move. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. Now it's Trubisky. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jared Davis. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Elliott. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On 2nd down, Elliott. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
Here we go. Now that's absolutely frustrating for a defender. Had a chance to get him on the ground before he got to the sideline, but what great vision and understanding where he is on the field as he headed for the marker and picked up the first down.
He takes it down to the 42, a 5-yard run.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The give is to Elliott. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
I know flashy plays, splashy plays, as people like to call them, that attracts a lot of attention. But let's face it, when you're efficient, that can control a ball game. And I love the game plan they've got going right now.
Back-to-back 5-yard gains. Didn't force the ball downfield. Picked it up on the ground.
Yeah, offensive line, they're getting it done.
A first down carry by Elliott. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because, you know...
No, Elliott going to be hit. He coughs it up, loose football. And who's got it? The Giants! Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to dock my cap.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Bortles. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down. It'll be a gain of 16 and give them a first down as well. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did.
Hey, spread left. Spread left. Green 80. Green
Now Bortles on the bootleg. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Oh, and now he bowls him over. 13 yards on his first catch. It's a first down as well.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. With the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Deshaun Jackson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 20.
And oh, it caught it up, and the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take. Take over at the 34-yard line. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Bortles now to throw. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw it, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And that'll be incomplete. Patrick DeMarco, the fullback, the one he was looking for. That'll bring up second down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
10th carry now for Elliott. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Now a play fake. Bortles. And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Quan Alexander in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss. And that'll lead to a 4th down. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. So he splits the uprights, and has to be a nice feeling. Right when it left his foot, knew it was good.
Yeah, just like a good three-point shooter in basketball, right? Release the ball, fall back on defense without even looking. You know it's going in the hoop.
And New York set to take the field. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis.
Look. Hey, 4 down. Sit up.
Now Trubisky on first down. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They'll throw on first down with Trubisky. And he whips that one incomplete there. He was hoping to get that one to Tevin Coleman in space. And now it's second down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard.
Move. Red up. Red up.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Trubisky. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. First catch of the game for Cooks. It'll be a first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
18. Hey, 18.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on first down. The left side completion to Jones. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Red up. 180.
Throwing once more, it's Trubisky. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Gotta go. Hey, 18.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll get an update when we return to MetLife Stadium. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
We go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
Throwing here, Trubisky. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. A minute 59 to go in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. They'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And here now come the Falcons. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
380.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. A dump off to Elliott. Able to corral him right at the midfield stripe following that sparkling display of footwork we saw. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
380. 380.
Working from the gun, it's Bortles. He's going to let this go deep for Jackson. A battle for it, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
18. Hey, 18. Yep.
After the interception, here's Trubisky. Over the middle, complete. It's Jones. And he gets it up to the 10-yard line here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. This might be a free play here for Trubisky. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Offside. Defense.
And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10.
18.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
180. Check 50. Red, up.
On 1st down, Trubisky drops it off for Coleman. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the 2nd quarter. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Red, up.
Looking to throw again, Trubisky. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
It appears they found something that's working, and they keep going back to it. I guess you can actually say he has the hot hands now, doesn't he?
Yeah, well, it's one thing to hit your guy out of the backfield once, hit him a couple times. Yeah, you're right. Maybe they're onto something.
And I think a lot of that is simply, if you get it to him in space, more times than not, he's going to get more yardage than you expect out of each play.
18. Red, up. Hey, 18.
Trubisky to throw again. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again to Elliott. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burned the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. Throwing his Bortles on third down. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And this offense led by Mitchell Trubisky going to make their way back out there. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
They'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a first down.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Blue, blue, blue. 180. Red, up.
Coleman now. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Here's Trubisky. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. That's the number 2 receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage. And tell you what, a few more plays like that, he won't be number 2 for long.
But that's what often happens when you have competitors running around the field. These guys know where they stand in relationship to yardage, totals, numbers, the whole deal. And let's face it, all of them, they all want to be number 1.
And down inside the 15 he goes. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain.
Let's go. Red, up.
Now a handoff to Richard. And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Giants have got it back to a one-score game. That's a score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there was an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now.
Sunday. 380.
They start on the ground with Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
380.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. It'll be a gain of 6, and it'll be 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And it's complete. Hooper. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
A little eager there coming in from his outside linebacker position.
You think the hard count got him there?
Yes.
Maybe that extra that extra emphasis on it got him to jump, and they picked up 5 yards.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool them on that play.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And that's incomplete. Austin Hooper, the tight end, was the intended target. And it's 3rd down. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
On play action, now Bortles. He's got a man, it's Williams. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now Bortles. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on 1st down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're either throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on 2nd and goal. Again, they'll throw with Bortles. His throw caught at about the 5. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Able to get 9 out of that pitch and catch, but now 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Again, it's Bortles. And that is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. 3rd touchdown pass of the game for Blake Bortles. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And now out come the Giants. They did what they had to do to start this third quarter, went down, got the touchdown to cut the lead, but the matching touchdown a moment ago, and we're right back where we started at halftime.
Yeah, you're exactly right, partner. They had a little bounce in their step after scoring that first touchdown, but the defense gave one up, and that's the problem right now. Can they get better play from their defense while they continue to score on offense?
Caught by Jones, and they're able to get this one across the 35. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
18. 18. 18.
Now Trubisky on 1st down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
18. 18.
From the shotgun is Trubisky. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd and 1, it's Trubisky. And incomplete. Almost intercepted. The D lineman almost had it. Couldn't hang on.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he will have the 1st down as he's brought down up near midfield. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. So a moment to catch our collective breath after the 4th down conversion. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now here at MetLife Stadium. It's the Giants with possession of the football but needing points as we start quarter number 4.
Let's go. Blue. Lock in.
Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. Flush to his right. Now he'll let this one go deep, right sideline. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, 18.
From the gun, it's Trubisky. Ebron with it over the middle. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
18.
Now Trubisky to throw on 2nd. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away. And now it's 3rd. The Giants on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and forever. Now it's Trubisky. And for a 3rd time tonight, he's intercepted. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. And he'll return this ball across midfield to the 47-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
They'll try and run for it with Elliott, and he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. It'll be a gain of 4, and that'll make this a second down. Trubisky will throw. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And he'll have it past midfield, almost to the 40, before being taken down. A gain of 32 that time. They'll throw on 1st down with Trubisky. Open man is Ross, complete. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Again, it's Trubisky. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
On 3rd down, Trubisky. He sets to fire deep. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here we go. It's Trubisky on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. The Giants go on 4th, but come up empty. And the Falcons' defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. So still over 3 minutes remaining in this game, but boy, not getting that when that hurt.
That's a little bit demoralizing, so they have to be careful about that because still have an opportunity if they can get some things done on defense. But now, since they've taken over on downs, a team with the ball, guess what? Going to 4-minute offense, maybe they can put this thing away. I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now, I could be in that huddle with that offensive line, and I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10.
Green 80. Green 80.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And his defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
Here we go.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Whistles and a timeout at the 2:05 mark. So this defense wanting to get one more pause in before the 2-minute warning, and they do just that. So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down.
Green 80.
This is Elliott. And some room to roam now. Touchdown, Falcons. Ezekiel Elliott, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Falcons will extend their lead. Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. Extra point good by Hopkins. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Jakeem Grant now to return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The New York set to take the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now it's Trubisky. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
Up. 180. Red, up. 18. Blue.
On 1st down, Trubisky fighting this, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Brooks Reed in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Red, up.
On 2nd down, Trubisky. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Red, up. Blue.
Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's going to let it fly. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. It's the former Patriot Devin McCourty. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because We've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. It happened in the NFL. The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do.
Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. And they finally get him down, but not before he gets it up to the 46. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for the Falcons, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll have another road.